What's up, y'all? It's your girl Stacey the Intuitive. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio reading. Now this can be for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus of Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, but this is our water sign reading. I'm currently filming this on the 1111 portal, so we are anchoring in energies of alignment. But keep in mind, just because this is being filmed on that time does not mean that that's what these energies that we're reading are specifically for. I trust that whenever you come to this, that's when you need the message. So yeah, we are going to be using the relationships oracle as well as the energy oracle. Now this is an activation deck. It isn't necessarily going to be a love reading. I just like the messages that come through. So I have cleansed my cards. I have done a little prayer, but we're going to do a little prayer before we start. Calling upon God, calling upon benevolence, calling upon the co-creative forces of the universe that are bringing us together in benevolence, in light, in order to provide a reading for your highest and greatest good. I just thank God for being in this space, protecting all of our energies as we come to read, and kind of just aligning us just like we're meant to, okay? So we're going to start off with the Activations Oracle. Thank you to my team. Thank you to your team. I am here to honor this connection, to honor this duty that I have to offer readings to the collective for their highest good. So my wonderful water signs, just tuning into the energy, want y'all to know I am a Scorpio rising and Mercury, and I don't have any Cancer or Pisces fixed placements or anything. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the oracle. What do the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio collective need to know today? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, so we have 6th chakra. You guys are attuning to your intuition. Very fitting for our water signs. Connection, strength. I'm just going to do 4 of these to start. We're just going to see what we get. So we first off have 6th chakra, and then we have the connection card, strength and union, right? So right off the bat, before I go into the individual cards, what I'm getting here is that you guys are connecting a little bit more to your okay, I was making sure I was recording. Connecting more to your intuitive space, connecting to your experiences as it relates to what your inner voice is telling you, right? So it's no longer just you navigating through life on a day-to-day basis. There are things that are signs, synchronicities, whatever, things that are coming through, and they're connecting you deeper to your intuition, right? And there's this strength element here. So I feel like you are coming into union with your reality in a way, with the reality that you have been conjuring, with the reality that you have been intuitively attuning to. That is kind of like the unfoldment right now. This union energy says the energy of union activates our ability to unite our outer and inner aspects towards a state of wholeness. And so that's the energy that I'm getting at here. This is an energy where your intuition, right, and you're connecting more with your environment and having those processes be a little more integrated, right? So as you navigate, as you receive intuitive insights, as you attune to kind of your gifts in that way, however that shows up for you, whatever gifts you have, whatever abilities to perceive that you have, there's this energy here where it's actually becoming a little more real, right? As opposed to being something in theory, it's something that you are actually able to kind of, like I said, integrate, but rather something you're able to interact with in your present 3D reality, which is pretty cool. So I just want to read these cards. The 6th chakra, the energy of the 3rd eye, supports our inner insights and intuitive abilities. And then we have the frequency of the connection card says the frequency of connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas, right? So as you attune to your intuitive abilities and things like that, it's like these signals are being sent and emitted, right? As you see things and interact with things, there's like a part of your intuition that you're able to connect it with, which is pretty cool. And then the strength card says the frequency of strength supports our ability to harmonize all our qualities and skills towards a strong, balanced way of being. Can't make this up, right? So, right, these are your internal skills. These are the things that you hold. I really do feel like this is a time of refinement for the collective, where you're learning a little bit more about who you are as an individual and how you show up in the world, which I really love here. I love that energy because one of my favorite YouTubers, Aaron Dowdy, something that he likes to talk about a lot is this individuation process. And what he means by that is the version of you that you are learning to separate from everybody else, right? Learning to see that separation between you and everybody else is a very significant part of the journey. And I do feel like there's this individuation process happening here for you, where you're learning and attuning a little bit more into your individual way of navigating, which I absolutely love this energy. I love the energy of people finding their own unique ways of navigating, their own unique ways of understanding the world, because a lot of the time when we're feeling on our journey that we are lost or confused and stuff like that, it honestly has to do with this flawed one-size-fits-all approach to navigating this human existence. The real truth about it is that all of us have this unique way of navigating that only probably works for us, that only probably resonates with us. But if we were to try, and so when we try to apply other people's methods and things, oftentimes it doesn't resonate. What's coming to me is like, me as a child, I used to, obviously I went to school as a child, right? But I did not love school because I did not love the format of learning from a young age. I remember I do not learn this way. I don't like this. And I always felt like I struggled because I didn't learn the same way. Like the format of learning, just even the whole structure, like of going to school and like the class by class basis, like the structure didn't work for me. And as I got older and was able to kind of integrate my own ways of like learning and things, that's when the world kind of opened up to me. That's when my strengths kind of came through. So I just feel that there's this energy of you guys becoming more whole and getting to finally feel like you belong in this world in kind of a way. Like there's this sense of belonging. I might title this video Belonging, but there's this sense of belonging that you guys are attuning to a little bit, because finally it's like you and this aspect of life match up, link up, pair well together. And what I mean by that, which I think you get it, but I want to go deeper into this notion, it's like a piece of a puzzle. Like your perception, the way that you navigate, it's fitting with life finally. And that's super cool. And you're just kind of like, you're kind of awakening to the way that you read the world, the language of the world that you speak, which is pretty cool. Okay, so then we have, I'm tuning into the energy oracle. We have heart chakra, yin and yang, man holding a heart, and door to personal healing and happiness. So yeah, we have this energy of heart chakra. And then yin and yang talks about balancing these opposing forces, right? So when I think of the heart chakra and the yin and yang, sorry if the screen keeps going dark. I didn't set my settings the way I should have. So let me see if I can do that now. I don't want to do that now because I'm trying to film a video. I'll do it later. But anyway, when I think of the opposing forces of the heart, I think of love and I think of pain, or I think of, love and being full, and I think of like the void and like darkness or whatever have you. So I do feel here that this heart chakra energy, interestingly enough, talks about that part of you where your heart chakra is not activated, where your heart is not in what you're doing, where you don't resonate with where you are, where you're not illuminated by what you're doing. That's the yin and yang, right? Where in areas where your heart is not in it, it's easy to feel like you're enveloped in darkness and like you don't belong. But here, there's this balancing act, because I feel like up until this point, maybe you guys have been on the other end of that, the yang, right? Where it was a little bit of darkness energy, the polarized element of feeling aligned and in your heart space, right? In alignment with your truth of your heart. You guys seemingly have came from the other end of that, where you maybe weren't in alignment with your heart, where you weren't attuned to like what's your heart desires and stuff like that. And now with this man holding a heart, this energy here can speak about some like a romantic thing, but here I'm really feeling that it's like you finally kind of like grabbing a hold of your heart, specifically within that masculine realm of things. I'm using this because my hair is dripping. I literally just wet it. But this is you attuning to that kind of masculine realm of things, like that action oriented, where like you get to contain the energy of your heart. Like you're holding your heart now. You have identified your heart and you're taking care. And now there's this healing, because I feel like, again, I just feel like you guys were out of alignment with your heart space in a little bit of a way. And so you weren't really connecting to your experience. You weren't really connecting to your journey. You weren't really feeling whole and complete. Whereas now, because you are learning to listen to your own inner voice, right? this beautiful inner voice that you have, because you're learning to listen to your own inner voice. You are now feeling a little bit more connected and whole within your experience, and you're feeling like you have a grip on what it is that you're supposed to be going towards, how you're supposed to be navigating, and it is leading to this ultimate healing space. So we're just going to get a little bit deeper. What other messages do we want to bring out for the collective? Please let us know. Okay, we're going to see. We have deceit, we have carrying connections, which I'm already feeling off the bat. It's like this part of you, it's like this mask that you had to wear, right, in order to fit in and things like that. It's not something that you were doing intentionally, but rather that you hadn't learned the language of your soul, the language of your heart. And so you were always having to like kind of just try to blend in, because you didn't know at the time. And then we got storm warning and door to value. So I feel like maybe this mask kind of came off. It's like maybe you were in a space that didn't feel resonant, and like you just couldn't bear with it any longer, which I feel might have been like this initiating moment for you. There might have been like an initiating moment. Maybe there was something that you were hiding, or something that, you know, maybe an opinion about something. But overall, I feel like it was something that you guys were hiding, right? Like we're talking about this truth about you that you're starting to attune to, but it might not have been something you were intentionally hiding, but rather that you maybe it's like something where you never felt like you fit in here. You never felt like you know, like you were belonging in that space or whatever, and there was just this lack of resonance within your connections, maybe within, I just feel like wherever you guys have been, there was a lack of resonance with the way that you were connected with people and your experience. And this storm warning kind of shakes this up, right? I feel like if you guys were wearing a mask in any way, if you're being inauthentic, it's like you couldn't hold it anymore. But it brings you to this value, because this moment of kind of polarization, this moment of kind of veering from what's normal, or this moment of kind of like contrast that you guys brought up, that is what brought you your value. It required that you kind of evoke this newfound sense of truth. And I really like that energy for you guys. I do. I can't lie. I do. So then we have woman holding a coin, blossoming abundance, indecision, and angel of love. So yeah, I feel like there's all this abundance wanting to come to you and all these things. But yeah, it seems like you guys were at a bit of a crossroads. It's like a space that you were in. It was challenging you, because it wasn't something maybe you could get behind, something you could really resonate with. And so coming out of this indecision meant picking the path of self-love, meant picking the path of honoring who you are despite how other people are going to look at you, right? I feel like in order to fit in a certain space, you guys had to kind of wear a mask, right? You kind of had to ignore what the truth of you was. But there was like this pivotal moment that came where you kind of had to choose or say to yourself, like, you know what, this is a little bit different, and it brings you to this place of value. It brings you to this place of self-understanding and knowing, that really helps you along your journey, that really helps you to step into power, that really helps you to come into union with yourself. I feel like you guys might have been compromising parts of yourself in order to fit into certain groups, or in order to resonate with certain people, and that's like, I think that was like no longer, right? We have curiosity, reflection, surrender. I like this. And we have transformation. So curiosity, this card, I already noticed, says like, you know, our inquisitive natures is the driving factor of growth. So it says it supports our intrinsic inquisitive nature, which is the necessary driving force behind any growth and evolution. So I feel here with this curiosity and reflection energy, there's something in your environment that got you to start questioning, right? And as you started to question that, you started to question yourself, and you had to surrender to this process of questioning. You had to surrender to this process of feeling like, going against the grain a little bit, because what I am feeling straight up is that in the environments that you were in, people were not questioning the same things as you. I'm going to be honest. It feels like you were the oddball out, and it's like you had to start questioning. You started questioning your environment or whatever you were in a little bit. And again, with this 6th chakra energy, the third eye, there's some part of you that had an inner knowing, right? There's some part of you that sparked, or, you know, that kind of lit up some inner part of you that was trying to call to you. And I feel like with that, whatever environments that you found yourself in that you were experiencing disconnection with, it's because another environment of connection was calling you. And so when I see this surrender, it's like surrendering to this transformation, whatever the curiosity was, whatever the thing that got you to veer from whatever what would have been deemed as normal for you in the past. It was meant to transform you. It's meant to bring you to this place of internal and external alignment. So I find that to be a really cool energy. Let's see, what else do we want to get into? I kind of just wanted to be free flowing and just let the messages come through. So I'm just switching amongst cards as I feel so guided to do, right? Trust that next time I'll make sure that my screen saver thing is on like indefinite. So we have the Temple Path, and we have Victory, and then we have the Healer of the Ages. This all just talks about walking a healing path. It talks about being victorious on that path towards healing. Maybe something that maybe whatever was like underneath the surface for you guys was something that actually needed to be healed. Obviously, like when we suppress any part of ourselves, we will need to heal that as we validate those parts of ourselves and kind of give recognition that they are worthy and things like that. And so I'm feeling here with you guys like there's this victory as you've reclaimed some piece of yourself, and now you feel like you get to belong. But really what you've reclaimed is your ability to navigate throughout this life experience, your ability to have a say in like what it means to navigate. I myself have walked this journey for quite some time of like trying to really solidify and anchor in my own means of navigation, which can be very hard, right? And when I see this Deceit card here for you guys, I feel like it has to do with that also lack of self-trust that can come about when we're trying to figure out how to navigate. But the real truth about learning how to navigate, guys, is that it literally can't be wrong if it makes sense to you. If it makes sense, if it allows you to gain some understanding from your own thought processes and ways of understanding, or from your own senses, how is that wrong if you just got to the conclusion in a different way that someone else might have? You know, like it's very easy to tell ourselves that that we can't trust our own navigation because who are we to do that? But rather, this is your life. Right? These are your experiences, and you have every single right to decide what resonates with you and what does not, to decide what makes sense to you and what does not. And you're only going to cause yourself more pain if you try to force yourself to understand things in a way that other people have told you to do. And specifically, like I said, with this school example that I had, guys, like it was so tough because people are telling me, like as a little kid, I just have an example, so I want to share it, but like I just remember being so conscious as a child of just like, I hate the school structure. I don't like this. I love to learn, but I don't like this. This does not feel like what learning is to me. And obviously as I grew, I learned the ways that I learned, and I was able to really nurture that energy within me. But the parts of me that felt like maybe I was just dumb as a youngin, because I hated like the school structure, or because I hated the way that, you know, we were told to learn, and it took me like a little bit longer and stuff like that to be able to kind of gain my bearings in those ways. I had to reclaim that part of me that was always smart and understanding and knew how to, like, you know, very, you know, intuitive with my understanding and things like that. I had to reclaim that part of me that is a learner by nature, that literally is spending her whole life trying to learn more, right? Because the way that it was kind of translated to me was different than how my soul understands. So I just want to offer that story to you guys to understand, yes, this is it's not in terms of like the school system, but rather it's in terms of your own life. And the more that you invalidate the way that your soul understands, the language of your soul, as you navigate, you have a unique language of understanding, however that's going to come through for you. The more that you invalidate that, the more parts of you that you'll lose, and the more that you'll misstep on your journey. But if you learn how to listen to the language of your soul, pay attention to the things, then you'll be in alignment with your journey and it'll all make sense. So that is very healing for you guys. The next card we have is Adjacent Possibilities and Appreciation, which this just speaks to that energy of like acknowledging that there are different ways to get to understanding, you know, there are adjacent ways to learn, to be, to navigate, and to appreciate that, right? Because a lot of the time I do feel like it's possible to feel down in the dumps a little bit when you're kind of not getting it. It can make you feel like a failure. But this adjacent possibility energy really does allow you this liberated feeling of knowing, just because it's not working for me this way doesn't mean it can't work for me this way. Doesn't mean that I can't find success in another way. But maybe this is just not the language of my soul. And I just really feel like that's a big part of this. You guys are learning the language of your soul and how the world and your experience communicates to you. And that is what is bringing you into union. And what I do believe for a lot of you is that a lot of us who are on this path of like spirituality and, you know, all of that, a lot of that navigational ability is going to come from this intuitive ability, wherever that resonates for you, whatever ability that is for you, right? There is this more intuitive focus as opposed to the logical focus, or as opposed to, you know, the tried and true, or the method or model that has been outlined by society of how you get to the next phase or how you are supposed to live out your existence, right? But for a lot of us, it is intuitive, and a lot of you are learning. So I do feel like there was maybe some type of contradiction that you had. Your intuition had told you something and you were very sure of it, but maybe like in an externalized way, there was some contrast because it was something that was trying to tell you different from what your intuition had been telling you. And it's through learning to listen to this intuition and tuning to it and empowering it that you were able to actually find this victory and this union, this internal and external union. Okay, so we're gonna close this off with, we're just gonna do some closing messages. I am going to just put the rest of the cards together like so, right? And then I'm going to like just pull a couple. So 2 cards from here and 3 cards from there. So what are our closing messages, God and the Divine? So we have cornucopia, we have root chakra, we have forgiveness, authenticity, and expression. Okay, so this talks about you having everything you need to feel secure in the world. The cornucopia and first chakra, you belong here. Everything you could possibly need is here. There's this forgiveness energy for maybe the parts of you that didn't allow yourself to feel that sense of security, of knowing that within your being you are secure, within your being you are abundant, within your being you have everything you need to learn how to navigate, to learn how to, to learn how to empower your experience, to learn how to figure out the next steps for you, whatever it is. So this forgiveness energy, it allows you to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions, maybe those feelings of insecurity, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you don't understand life. And then we have authenticity and expression. So it's literally through this energy of finding the wellspring of knowledge and information and just absolute divine perfection within you, that you reclaim and regain this authenticity of expression. Okay, I really hope that that message resonates for you. What I do want to put out here, just from my own wisdom to yours, is that it can be hard trying to learn where you're supposed to be going, how you're supposed to be going, how the path is supposed to unfold for you, especially if you choose to take the warrior way, if you choose to take the intuitive way, right? The way that your soul is guiding you towards. That can be so hard, guys. But why else would you be here if not to learn how to listen to yourself? And, you know, this whole identity, this whole being that is constructed from within you, it is not random, okay? I want to put that out there. It's not random, because as we grow, we get to see the wholeness that is created of the little parts that we experience along the way, right? And those parts are not for nothing. They're not by way of coincidence, in my opinion. And so I just want to put it out there. Like, you have a purpose here. You have a divine right here to understand and know. And if the people who have decided on a global scale, of a method or model of, unfoldment in this life, they say, like, you're born, you go to pre-K, you go to school, you go to another form of higher education, and you get a job straight from. What if that's not your way? People who say that you understand experiences by, just in terms of a basic example, to not get too complex, but the way that you understand the complexity that you are able to bring to your experience is not for nothing, right? Those layers don't come out of nothing. Allow yourself to explore those layers a little bit more. You deserve to, right? At the very least, you deserve to get a little bit of that outside of the box thinking. You deserve to veer from, what is common or expected, and see where your functioning brain takes you, because maybe you're the genius after all. Okay? Maybe you're the genius. I don't know, but we'll find out, right? So I hope this resonated with you guys. I hope that the message was good. I'm going to continue doing more of these, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Mwah.